Today, we're taking a journey deep into the Kuman Himalayas, not with a map, but through a collection of really powerful poems. These were all translated from the local Kumaoni language, and they really captured the soul of the mountains. Voices just filled with love, loss, and this incredible, unbreakable bond with the land itself. And the collection kicks off with these beautiful, almost haunting lines. Right away, you get this feeling that weaves through everything that follows. The idea that memory isn't just something in your head. No, it's physically out there, paused, waiting for you in the landscape. It just sets this incredible tone of wistful longing. So first up, we're going to explore how these poems are completely inseparable from their setting. You see, the mountains of Kumaon aren't just a pretty backdrop here. They're a living, breathing character with a voice and feelings all their own. I mean, think about that simile for a second. It's so powerful. The sound of the wind whipping through the valleys? To the poet, that's not just noise. It's a deep, sorrowful cry, like a daughter weeping as she leaves her family home for good. You have to understand, traditionally, this was a huge separation, almost like a final goodbye, and you can feel the entire landscape carrying the weight of that sorrow. And this really gets to the heart of a central conflict in these poems. The connection to home is so deep that both leaving and coming back feel, well, impossible. To leave is to abandon a piece of your soul, but to return feels just as hard. It's this beautiful, painful way of describing being caught between two worlds. So this love of a place, it kind of builds and zooms into something even more intimate, the personal love between two people. In this next section, we're going to see how the poems use these incredible sensory details to capture that feeling of human connection. This is just so lovely, isn't it? Love here isn't about some grand, sweeping gesture. It's about the small, tangible moments. It's the memory of the sun's warmth on a loved one's hand, a physical feeling the poet wants to hold on to wrap up and keep safe. It's so simple and yet so unbelievably profound. Okay, so to really get the next line, we need to know about a really important symbol. The branch. It's this vibrant, fiery red flower that just blankets the hillsides. And in Kumaoni poetry, it's this powerful symbol of passion, of a heart that's blossoming with desire. And boom, there it is. The connection becomes stunningly clear. This line just perfectly equates that overwhelming feeling of desire with a vibrant flower suddenly blooming right inside your chest. Nature and intense human emotion, they just become one. Now, from that peak of intense love, the tone shifts to something a lot more melancholic. Now we're going to explore the kind of heartbreak that happens when that deep connection to home and family starts to decay and fade away. This next poem really centers on one crucial word, Aija. It's the Kumaoni word for mother, but it means so much more than that. She's the anchor of the family, the absolute heart of the home. In a lot of ways, she is the home. And the poem Mother and Sickness describes this absolutely devastating sequence of events. It's not one sudden tragedy, but a slow, quiet, painful emptying of a home. First, the cow leaves the shed, then the dog disappears from the yard, the cat vanishes, even the wild birds fly away. Life just drains out piece by piece until the path outside the house falls completely silent. And here is the absolute gut punch of the poem. The mother, Ija, she knows her own body, her own spirit. She states a simple, profound truth. I am sick. But the outside world, the clinical world represented by the doctor, just offers this dismissive diagnosis that completely erases her experience. It reduces all her suffering to just a fact of aging. So from these deeply personal losses, the poet kind of zooms the lens out. We move to a sharp, really critical look at the society outside, at its hypocrisy, its performance, and the slow erosion of cultural identity. The setting for this critique is the Kautik, which is a traditional fair. Now, this should be a place of joy, of community. But in the poem The Fairgoer, it becomes a stage for observing everything that's gone wrong with the world. Wow, what biting lines. The poet looks around this fair and doesn't see celebration. They see a spiritual wasteland. Everyone is bragging, posturing, claiming to be so pious, but it's all just an act. And that final line is just a scathing indictment of a society that calls itself great, but is in reality spiritually dead. This questioning keeps going in another poem where the speaker sees someone dressed in traditional clothes but senses this deep, jarring disconnect. The costume is there, but the authentic spirit, it's gone. It raises this really poignant question about what happens when you lose your roots. Who are you, really, if you're just playing a part, totally cut off from your own culture? Okay, so after that journey through loss and critique, the collection brings us to a final, really powerful message. We end by moving towards hope, towards rebirth, and the idea that love is this enduring, cyclical force that can't be broken. In the poem, Whenever You Come, we find this incredible promise. The poet is certain that even after death, when the body is just dust, the power of their beloved's love can bring life surging back into the soil. It can make a lotus bloom, guaranteeing that spring and their reunion will always, always return. And we end on this final, absolutely stunning image that brings everything full circle. Here, even a cold, extinguished sun isn't the end of the story. The poet promises it will bloom again in the sharp, passionate red of the branch flower. Hope and love aren't just feelings. They're presented as these powerful, regenerative forces of nature itself. So, after journeying through these poems, from the lament of the mountains to the promise of a sun blooming like a flower, we're left with this question. If memory and love and your very identity are so deeply tied to a physical place, what happens when you have to carry that place within you? What does home truly become when it's a landscape you hold in your heart?